Father, you make a way when there is no way, and I know all things are through you. I ask, Father, through your divine will, allow your angels to enforce your steps, protect those who hear the call so they can continue to grow, be the best they can be as is intended. I know all things are through you, and that is why all things are being revealed as it should. This is nothing but divine placement, divine direction, divine clarity, and your will shall be done. La, 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 la. Didn't shoot the devil any day now. I shot the sheriff. Oh, shoot, it's on. Peace and blessings, y'all. This is your boy, Gerald. It is Friday, the 18th of March. How is everybody doing? I wasn't aware that I was actually live, but that's okay because what I have inside me, hey, it's love. So that's all good. I hope wherever you are, your day is going smooth. You're sidestepping the negativity, placing God first in everything you do, but always grounding your feet because what's at stake not only is the impact of your legacy, of the person that you're going to become, but it's found in validations of the things you do today. I say that because we can't get back yesterday, but it's still our responsibility to take the steps to gain wisdom from the actions past, from the things that were revealed to us, to the things that we've had to embrace and take time to understand why. Yes, not the letter, but the word why. Why now am I seeing? Why now am I experiencing? Why now is whatever that is being revealed to you being shown? I know this is going to go out to somebody because, see, some of y'all started your weekend a day early. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You started your weekend You started it yesterday. You embraced the festivities of St. Patrick's Day, and you embraced the jubilations of what was occurring. But I also know that maybe possibly there might be somebody right now. Yesterday was not as you thought it was going to play out. Maybe there was a revelation that was birthed out that caused you to stop dead in your tracks, to stop and put focus on what was being offered or what was being revealed. Let me explain something to you. Because, see, we live in a society where we tend to water down the things that affect us both emotionally, physically, and by all means, spiritually. So it's required that we put the work in because what's at stake is your story. Yeah, you know that little hash mark that's going to be found on that tombstone? Everybody's going to have one unless you choose to become cremated. But this is not about being morbid. No, it's not. It's about being and living in your truth. Yeah, it is. So that's why I will come to you with love. That's right. I'm sending love to you right now. See, I'm reaching out to you. I'm reaching out. I'm right here. If you're in a place of discomfort, if you feel that you're being brought in a place of choice, how about accountability? Just know it's time to get back to you. hmm Because, see, the option not to get back to you is denial. It is. You're choosing to allow your events to dictate the outcomes of what you are going to adapt or adjust to, not claiming and directing what should be. I know that needs to go out to someone. So, yes, we are on the beginning of your weekend. It's a beautiful day, but there's a slight chill in the air. But that don't surprise me either because I told y'all, I told y'all 6 months ago that the weather was going to fluctuate till the second week of April because I felt it. So look at how the weather's been playing out. You're seeing storms where storms where they never occur, tornadoes occurring where they've never been heard of, as well as destruction. Why is that? I personally believe we are in a position of seeing what God truly wants. And by doing so, He's requesting and requiring authenticity. That's why every now and then I will say to you, yeah, you. Do you know who you are? Do you know? Because if you don't know who you are, how can you be vulnerable? How can you make sound decisions for what's best for your life? So you got to understand something, y'all. When you peel the onion back, everything that's an extension to you is connected to that spirit. Yes, you do understand that your spirit is where that energy is coming from, not this. This is just a means to get past and get through this earthly plane that we live in. We are spiritual beings first. So it's very important that you be vulnerable to yourself. If you're spending time watering down, shape shifting your choices, or how we say, accepting things that do not serve you, you're not serving your highest good. Therefore, you're not living your life. And that's not supposed to be your walk, y'all. It's not. But see, we live in a society, y'all, that we believe that if we give 10% effort, we expect to get 90% return. But yet, we go through this regimen of why we are surprised we don't get the outcome we rightfully deserve. But in actuality, we're getting exactly that. So I'm going to come back to you again. Do you know who you are? Because if you knew who you are, you would realize that you're perfect. But society has tried for so long to convince you to conform, to convince you not to see what matters most. Because see, your beauty is not found here. It's not found here. It's not found here. It lives here. I know that needs to go to someone. But if you listen to those people, they will shapeshift you, teach you how to talk and walk to fit in their box, not be in your own circle. See, without a circle, because if you look at your life is a circle because you're in the middle of it. You dictate who has access compared to who does not. So with that being said, shouldn't the truth, you know that truth, be a reflection of your actions? I know I'm talking to someone. You've been fighting. You've been fighting. You've been fighting to convince your environment that the person that you are is not the person you was. But it is futile compared to who you really are inside. I know I'm talking to somebody. You're afraid because you're torn because you say, well, I have a I have an outside persona and I have an inside truth. I know I'm talking to someone. You feel that, when it comes to making the oil wheel, I have to wear a certain disposition about myself. But in actuality, you should ask yourself this: why is it that your outer presentation, shouldn't the people connected to the outer presentation honor the person that you really are? So you're feeling a little tired, aren't you? You're starting to get a little paranoid because you're looking in the mirror and you're seeing the wear and tear of choices made. And you're starting to feel a little afraid. No, I'm not talking about that premature gray or that extra pound or two. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your emotional and mental state. How about that spiritual foundation? Hmm? I know I'm talking to somebody. You're so tired because it seems like you're living Groundhog Day right now, and the only thing changes are the faces. You say yourself in mid connection. You say, "Oh, I see this coming. I've seen it before, so I'm going to get ahead of the storm before the first raindrop, only to get flooded out." You know why that is? Because that's what the devil does. See, the devil already knows your legacy. He knows it. He knows your legacy because God created you. So guess what? He's got to be covert. He's got to put little strongholds, and soul ties along your journey, which we know as life. And these are most felt through the interactions of other people. But what is required to unlock this is your free will. Because, see, no one can do nothing to you, nothing, unless you allow it. But let's go back. You have to acknowledge something exists before you can make any changes to it. So that means you must become or find a place of emotional safety. Do you realize you have over 50% of people that walk this planet that are they feel emotionally unsafe? They show the most impulses in their actions. That's why you see them, they're constantly doing this and that and this and not accomplishing nothing but another excuse for themselves. That's not supposed to be your life. It's not. But once again, if you allow your environment could be your family, your environment could be your workmates, your environment could be the one deemed the responsibility of holding on to that precious heart that is all up in your ear saying, you don't need to do that. Who do you think you are? Spewing insecurities, which really are nothing but the insecurities of them. Because if you really knew yourself, if you allowed yourself to step into claiming yourself, that first step, they know what's at stake. They know that the person that you are is not whole. And they are unfortunately running shot over your life. Now, I'm going to say this to the person that hears my voice. And I want you to understand something. I say this from the bottom of my heart. Those who choose to invest in manipulation, control tactics, how about manipulation with covert tendencies? How about gaslighting? Let me tell you something. Those people are tormented. They are. Because these people choose not to claim their truth, nor honor their integrity. So that's why it's easier to take the shortcuts. But haven't you realized when you take shortcuts, you cut your life short. You end up going back. You go back. You don't. That's why we hear the proverbial for every one step, 10 steps back. Because see, that's what that devil does. We know this is a spiritual attack too. Because demons can't and will not have access unless you allow them in. They are manifested in human beings that are not formed. Do you understand that? Ain't nobody gonna just wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? I think I'm just gonna walk over there and just kill everybody in the room. No, that's a progressive choice. And the signs are always there. But you gotta know what to look for. That's why when I laugh, I can laugh about this now. And I'm gonna tell you something too. No one wins when you choose not to live your life. Yeah. hmm That's why I love interacting from you, my family, my subscribers. When you feel that you want validation on something you may be going through, I try to make a point to reach out just as soon as it comes. Now, I do have a professional life. I do. But I believe when it's all said and done, and Dr. Gerald Davis, political psychologist, author, screenwriter, and whatever else God has me to do is made revealed. It all makes sense because I put God first in everything I do. And when you decide that that is the choice you will embrace for your life, you don't do it for someone else, you do it for you. That's why you don't have control of whatever. I got this feeling somebody has issues in their relationship because the person that they have emotions for, have feelings for, they're very strong. But you know that this relationship is toxic. But the problem that you're running into is they got the same habits just like you. So y'all are like this. So there is a power struggle going on. Who can one up the next? Well, guess what? I'm a firm believer in this. Everybody can change. I had somebody say, Gerald, what about those people that choose to cheat on and are just they just what she's like she called them some other stuff, but pretty much called them dogs in heat. And I took the time to respond back. And I explained to her that, first of all, when a person elects to step out of a relationship, it's because number one, there's communication breakdown. Number one. And there's something in that dynamic that is lacking. Now, why would that be present if your communication was like this? Because most people will not speak their truth. So they go and spend energy, they spend time, they spend money, and they end up sacrificing themselves physically in impulse. And at fun, it is very enticing. It really is. But it always has a price. And that price is waiting right around the corner for you to walk the course. And then you're like, wow, if I only knew this was going to be the case. This is also true too, because that's how the devil gets down. See, the devil is a liar. He's a coward. He will never come up to you and say, hey, look here. I want to blow your mind. I want to blow your pockets out. I'm going to blow that back out. And I want to destroy every relationship you've ever come in contact because I hate you. The devil's not going to do that. He's going to bring your next problem and pain in a nice bow. It's going to look good to the eye. It's going to say what you want to hear. It's going to be demonstrated with the desires that you think you need, but it's really a want. That's why they don't last. That's why they always blow up. That's why they always fall apart. Because see, at the end of the day, God loves you, and God is sitting on that throne. He's saying, look here, devil. Didn't I tell you leave her alone? I did, right? Didn't I tell you he's under my covenant? I did, right? So you want to stick your chest up. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right, Michael. Hey, Gabriel. Ariel. How about Rick? Well, this is what I want you to do. Everything that was not blessed about that connection, I want you to cut it down. And because they serve the Lord, they honor the Holy Trinity, they're going to go and bring everything to the light. You know why they do that? Because God loves you. But see, you think you're being punished. You think you're being punished. Like, oh, man, I had plans to go on that trip this weekend. Oh, man, this fell out. Oh, man, my money's not right. And then you later find out that if you had went on that trip or you invested your time on that, it was going to cost you more than you could even imagine. But because we live in A lot of people put their pride and ego first than their physical being. That's for somebody right there. Thank you, my angels. I don't know if you can hear this in the background. The song is called Smiling Faces. And somebody right now, I got this feeling. You dealing with people that have been around your circle. Yeah, they have. They've been watching you. And they've been trying to find a way back into your life. And they've been working this angle. But little do you know, these people don't mean you well. I know I'm talking to someone. hmm They, they, they. That's why I always tell y'all, the word no does not mean forever. The word no means under review. In this situation, it might be a job offer. It may be somebody that you were connected with. They're giving you an offer, and that offer sounds really enticing. But here's the problem with that. They know what gets you to tick, and they're putting the sugar and spice in the scenario, but you're at the tipping point. You don't know if to go forward or go back. And here's the thing about it. You're not taking stock in what you don't know, what you don't see. You are not gauging what history you had. So if that so if that situation was not in your best your best ability, your best my tongue is not working. Because I'm feeling this right now. If that opportunity does not serve you, or if you have doubts, why don't you pray on it? Pray over the situation and watch what God shows you. Just and leave it there. Because you may not realize we live in a narcissistic society where you have people walking around with personality disorders that are that they're psychopathic. A psychopath has no empathy. They can't relate to right or wrong. They look at life through means of survival. So if survival means stepping on you, if survival requires them sacrificing something that they have to further the agenda, the agenda may be distracting you from the person or the path you're supposed to be on. See, because the devil's work is never done, y'all. The devil's work is never done. All of a sudden, and here's the funny thing about it. A lot of people don't realize that any actions done by man, right, until it comes full circle, it's not complete. There's no closure to it. Like a circle, you must, everything comes full circle. That's why you always hear what's done in the dark always comes to the light. Why? Because God has it to be. And what does not serve you, you got to question why you there. So I'm going to ask you again. I got this feeling somebody been crying. Somebody been saying to themselves, when am I going to have my happy ever after? And you basing what you call happy ever after off of a template that is nothing but a program. You're saying, I want to be just like them. But you're not taking accountability of the glitches, the highs, the lows, You're not taking accountability of what started, the middle, and the conclusion. If you are assuming that your life is supposed to be here and you get here, you miss out on all growth in between. The meat of your life, the joys of your life, the things that make you strong, the things that make you firm, the things that make you you. But I also understand this. There are some people that put on a good front. They put a good show on. Yeah, they do. And they spend so much time trying to convince their environment that the person they are is who they are. That's a front. Because if you don't know anything, or this is foreign to you, legendary poet, rest in peace, Maya Angelou once said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Now, we are not taught to embrace our personalities. We're taught to compartmentalize how we think, to take what we need and throw away the rest. That's how we're taught. We're taught to consume, not process. And we're taught not to love ourselves. I know there may be somebody right now, all you want is to be at peace with yourself. But how can you be at peace when with yourself if you won't take accountability for where you've been? Because last time I checked, you wasn't born with punching bag on your forehead. Oh yeah, I know somebody going through that right now. And I'm not making light of that. Because Gerald got much love for you. You wasn't stenciled the word doormat. You wasn't branded slave. That's not part of your walk. But if you constantly look at your circle for inspiration and there's no growth there, why are you there? Why are you there? Society has done everything. That's why I got a bone. I have a bone with the way our queens are projected, our kings are projected, because society wants you, queen, to embrace the role of the harlot, the Jezebel, the kept woman, Miss Loose Booty, just a commodity, not something to treasure, just something to do. And the byproducts of that is she is unstable. She is taking on the persona of the emasculated male. That's why she's walking around with so much misdirected love and compassion. And it is presented by bitterness, anger, and denial. And unfortunately, there has been some of you who have allowed from your mouth to not acknowledge God. See, that's why devil think he winning. That's why he think he winning. Because he knows that until you decide to be still, take stock on the things that were made manifest in your life, because words have power, y'all. I've proven this time and time again. That queens, kings, think about it. Don't dispel it. Think about every time you came out your mouth and said, you know what? I wish I had I wish I had a girl. I wish I had a lady. And then voila, bam, there she is. And your life is jacked up because it was manifested. Same thing, Queen. You say to your girlfriend, man, I wish I had me a two-legged pit bull. I make light of that. So yeah, he gotta look like this. You know, he gotta have his money right. Yeah, he gotta be able to keep me in check. Most women won't tell you won't tell you that because they have daddy issues. Daddy wasn't there. So they have this image in their mind of what a man's traits should be. But know when I tell you this, if that man doesn't have a relationship with God, he will never have a relationship with you. I know I'm talking to someone. Y'all have sex like the wind blow, but it's just something to do. And you have sat down passionately and said, hey, this is what I need. And they look at you like you talking in a foreign tongue. You know why? Because that connection is not blessed. It's not blessed. We are what we attract. And through time, that's why, my queens, you find so much duress when you try to be covert or try to move through agenda. You say, well, you know what? He has some of the traits that I desire, but if I do some tweaking, if I do some shifting, if I use a little approaches this and that, I'll have the end results only for the validation of your friends. And you're frustrated because one by one, these things fall. They're temporary manifestations. Why? Because God is not in that. That's why I will always yell, stop looking for your mate. It doesn't matter what you can do behind closed doors. It doesn't, because that's lust, not love. And I know I'm talking to somebody because you feel a certain kind of way because you can get them. You can get them. But after the deed's done, they act like they never heard you breathe. They play with your finances, or worse, they attacked your mind and leave a scar. You know why we have scars, y'all? To remind us where we were, but an opportunity to gain wisdom of that. But what is really being revealed is you are living healing if you gain the insight and not the repetition. I know I'm talking to someone, but see, I understand. I do, because I know some of y'all are like, well, you know what? I'm gonna use what I got to get what I need, and that just comes with the territory. But at what price? your heart, your body. You're not supposed to be waking up first thing in the morning to open up a medicine cabinet and you got all these pills you got to take. You know why you're taking all those pills? Because you ain't healing yourself. The body has a way of naturally making you new the moment you put God first. I know I'm talking to somebody. You're not supposed to be feeling all outside yourself. You're like, I don't have any control of my life. All this stuff is going on. Why won't you ground your feet? Why are you running? Why you continue to run? You've been running for 30 years. Why? That's why I tell you, my fam, if you are under the age of 35, you will not know who you really are. I don't care how much money you got in your pocket, who you know, or where you have been. You have a memory to serve as a guide on where you're going. That's why I will always convey to each and every one of you. Do you know your purpose? Because just getting by ain't your purpose. Why is it when you take a position to get by, it always seems like you getting over, somebody's getting over on you? And that's the thing you need to take note on. If a person can't come to you transparent, they're doing a disservice. They're doing a disservice to wasting your time, but they're doing a disservice to themselves because they are not speaking from truth. Now, for my folks that are under the age of 35, I know right now your focus right now is to have a little pocket money. You may be in school right now, in college, trying to sort things. Don't rush your life. Embrace it. And right now, the priority may be just another party. I got that. I've been there. I understand that. Ain't nothing wrong with a nice party as long as you got balance. I told a friend yesterday, talked to him yesterday, love him to death. And I said, what's the point on going to the party if you don't own the club? What's the point on going for a ride if you don't own the car? What's the point on having a life if you ain't living it? I know I'm talking to you. But see, I get it. Some of y'all say, well, Gerald, this is who I am. This is the cards I'm dealt. And I've got no choice but to live it. So if you believe this is what you got to do, why won't you live your life authentic? Hmm? Ain't nothing worse than living a life that ain't yours and everything is carbon copies, not the original. See what I'm saying? If you're living your life like a cubic zirconia, but you're really a diamond, you're doing yourself a disservice. But here's the thing. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. You know why? Because you hear my voice, you're breathing, your heart's beating, and you're able to stand. So those things right there should tell you you're worth it. You're worth it. But if you don't put God first in front of your life, you're choosing to get the gift card in life, not the prize. You are the prize because you're priceless. It is not your responsibility to go chase after someone. It is not your responsibility to convince someone to do something that they should already know. It's not. It's not meant for you to disrespect yourself just to make a point. That's why the Lord said, vengeance is mine. Every time you try to move in spite, that's a double-edged sword. You're going to impact them because you've given them your time. But you're gonna impact yourself because you never should have been there. So some of y'all might be in your spiritual storm right now. Your emotions is like this. And you're thinking, well, you know what? If I go on over and get that shot, let me go get that shot of leg over there. Or let me go get that hook. Or let me go on here and get that, let me get blazed up to a level of numbness. You'll come to understand that it will cost you not only your time, that precious time. It'll affect your body, it'll affect your health, and it will block your spiritual growth. Now, I told y'all, you could have as many liquor stores and churches on every block as you want. But if you don't have a connection with God for yourself, you might as well be going somewhere looking at subtitles because you won't be able to relate. I know there's somebody right now, you got news. There's a job offer and it sounds really, really good. And you're saying to yourself, well, you know what? It's going to require me to relocate. I'm going to have to start fresh. But you don't see the small print of the people connected to you, how that's going to affect them. I'm here to tell you, that's when you say no. Because I got a feeling there's something going on that's not said. And if you don't ask the correct questions, they're not going to speak it. And I think that will have a defining factor on your decision making. But if you're doing this, well, I'm gonna chalk that L and on to the next one. You're not allowing yourself to heal. You're not. And you know what'll happen? Someone's going to end up living your life, living your dreams, because you're not claiming them. But see, I say that because it takes courage to be yourself. It does. That's why we used to hear people say, oh, you just hating. You just hating. No, I'm not hating. You're not winning. You playing yourself. You're listening to you're treating your life like a scratch CD. Every time you get to that certain point, it takes you back to the beginning. Ah, your life is a symphony, an orchestra. Look here, y'all know I got some soup coolers. Y'all know I do. I love you guys. I want you guys to win. I want y'all to claim your life back. Stop selling. Stop running. Because guess what? Even Forrest Gump, even Forrest Gump got tired of running. But the blessing out of that, while he was running, he was reflecting. He was taking accountability for where he had been. And he was building insight. And eventually, the wisdom was revealed in the intended time and moment. Because all the people that he passed, all the imagery of the interactions served as metaphoric examples that was found in him already. And then he stopped. He looked around And he knew it's time to come home. It's time to go home. And he walked back into his life. So God doesn't do anything by mistake, y'all. I want y'all to understand there's no such thing as fate. That's all divine intervention. Mhm. Even the disappointments. Sometimes you're going to go through some stuff to shake you, to shake the things that you've attached to your life. Some things will break off. Some things will be divided. But if you don't understand why, if you don't take stock to see what has occurred, ask those questions: why, when, how, who, into the person in the mirror, because that's who you owe it to. That person, not the person that you snuggled up with, not the person you breaking bread with, not the person that you interact on a daily basis. It's that person. I know I'm talking to someone because I hate to tell y'all this. There are some of y'all that have connections that are derivatives of works not done, derivatives of works that has the devil's handprint. And the devil's like, come on, come on. Yeah. Some of us may know that as temptation. So I ask this to you. If whatever that is, if it doesn't spawn growth, if it does not spawn uniqueness, if it does not spawn wisdom to motivate you to be the best you, it's not for you. I know somebody's saying, well, Gerald, he the best I ever had in my life. How do you know that? How do you know that? I've come to learn. You never gauge somebody by this. You gauge them by their actions. And if that action does not come from a place of selflessness, humility, how about compassion and honor? Why you settle? Why you settle? This is like embracing a stolen moment. A stolen moment is a moment that's not yours. That's something you're not supposed to have. Not at that moment. That means there's works still not done. But that's how that devil works. The devil is the master of perversion. He wants nothing more to break you. Oh, them dreams you got? Nah, I can't let you have that, but I'll give you this. Oh, that connection you had? Nah, I can't let you be with them because they may spawn growth in you to be the best you. They may be the doorway that's going to inspire who you are destined to be to come out. I can't do that. I need to keep you confused. Haven't you noticed when the things you really need for your life, there's always a sacrifice for it? You're going to have to invest some time in that. But haven't you noticed anytime that you decide to That's like I told a friend of mine, I told a friend yesterday, a dear friend of mine, I said, that's like going to your furniture store, right? And the furniture you have to put together yourself. And after you have the structure, the furniture put together, you look over and there are about 5, 6 screws left. And you doing this. See, God will give you everything you need. He'll give you everything you need the moment you took your first breath. But if you allow those people, I call them people in the cheap seat, they love nothing more to convince you not to claim your life. They're the ones that will quickly sabotage any aspiration or direction you're trying to do. Why? Because they broken just as much as you are. Now, I know some people may take offense when I use the word broken, but guess what? You can't fix something you will not acknowledge exists. Why do you think addictions occur? Why do you think infidelity occurs? Why do you think loss occurs? Because somebody either felt that you was not worth the truth or they didn't have the truth in them. I know I'm talking to someone. You might have wanted to sit down and have a heart to heart with someone. And they said, well, you know what? We can talk about anything you want, but how about we have a little getaway? And on that, we'll talk about whatever. But what they don't tell you is, if I can get you out of your comfort zone, I can dictate the outcome of what's going to play out. And maybe their whole agenda ain't nothing to do with communication, which will bring you back into what? Looking at that ceiling, holding on to your heart, dealing with another disappointment because they don't want to come with truth. Because to come with truth, you have to have the ability to honor your integrity. Don't you see your worth for that? We're talking about your life. Your life. There'll never be another life like yours. You know, and I know this has nothing to do with it, but I'm a segue this right now because it's on my spirit. It's been almost 2 weeks now since I cut my dreads, right? Cut them. My dreads were down my shoulders or behind my back. And I've echoed this, I don't know how many times. I even had to echo this today with a new neighbor. Like, hey, your hair looks good, but why don't you cut your dreads? And I looked at him. I said, listen, number one, my hair is an extension of who I am. The reason I grew my hair was because God instructed me to do so in a dream. Of course, he looked at me like I was crazy. Like, yeah, right, but it's the truth. The reason why I embraced that because God was showing me what being patient was all about. Because you can't force your growth of your hair. You can't. But in the process of allowing my locks to grow, I stayed prayed up, y'all. I start my day, in my day, throughout my day, I stay prayed up. And you know what? I pray for you too. I pray for whatever you're going through right now. Whatever disappointment that you had to be faced with, that you would have the strength not to succumb to it, but to conquer it. I pray that whatever that was hidden be made revealed so that you can make sound decisions for your life. You know why? Because Gerald got love for you is from one spiritual being to another. But if you feel that you are in a valley in your life, and things ain't going the way you want, your money ain't right, or you're constantly attracting people into your life that only want to deprive you of that beautiful smile, why won't you have the courage to look at what's being shown to you? It's not just by chance you seeing this. You seeing this because what's required is God is saying, did you get the message? Meanwhile, the devil's like, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. Because I know the real you. Because the devil operates off of fear. You know, fear. Finally, everything's a reality. But God gives you life, living in favor every day because you are blessed. But you can't be blessed if you don't claim it. So that means you got to be the real you. So what are you saying? I got this feeling somebody saying, well, Joe, if I claim the real me, I'm gonna lose my friends. But they ain't your friends. They're your distractions. I know I'm talking to someone. Somebody right now is having problems with the other parent of their child. I know I'm talking to somebody. And every time y'all can't even be civil on the phone. Y'all like oil and vinegar. You know why y'all oil and vinegar? Because y'all are afraid that the other one will have an advantage over the other instead of putting the focus where it should be, and that's the development of your child. I mean, if anything, look at it like this. Think about every heartbreak, every disappointment that you've gone through. You think your child doesn't see that play out? Because it's your responsibility, as well as the other parent, to mold the psychology and the personality for that child. That's how they're going to see the world. So, my kings, I know you may not be married right now, and you like being single because you can date and you can sow your oats. But just know, you got a little girl, one day there's going to be somebody just like you doing this. And guess what? All those things that you've done to other women, somebody going to try to do that to your daughter. I know I'm talking to someone. My queens, if you got a son, you may think that, well, you know what? He ain't acting right. You can't make him do anything he don't want to do. But if you're not trying to be civil and you are using your child as a weapon, let me tell you what's going to happen. That little boy is going to grow up and he's going to have your tendencies and traits. And he's going to have a void in the shape of his father. Now, I know there's a lot of women not going to like this, but it's the truth. Let me tell you something. You might be the best mother in the world. If you have a boy, if you have a son, let me tell you something. No matter what your measures, no matter what your actions are, you cannot teach him to be a man. You can't. You can't. That is a fact. And I know some women that are you just insecure because you're saying, well, that's not true. You turn around and disrespecting my efforts. No, I'm not. What I want you to understand is this. Think about it. You prepare this boy, your son, to be a man, right? And you tell him the positives of what a man's supposed to do. You know what's going to happen? A young lady is going to come along and she's going to blow his mind and she's going to undermine everything you've done. Because she's going to know, well, you know what? You lack this. And she's going to try to emasculate him. She's going to try to break his spirit. And you know what? We don't need another man that hates women. We don't need another man out there that more or less goes around and produces children and doesn't claim them. We don't need another young boy that his destiny is going to be incarcerated and they're going to use him for labor. So I'm saying this to you. If you are using your children as a means of being spiteful, being revengeful, let me tell you what's going to happen. As those children grow up, you're going to attract a pain unlike any other, because guess what? No parent wants to see their child suffering and knowing that physically they can't do nothing about it. That's what happens. Meanwhile, the devil's sitting in a cut like this. This is going to be good. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I knew she was going to step out on him. See? All right, I already got the transcript right here. Oh yeah. And he's just marking time. He's marking time. Because see, sometimes the devil will use other people through demons. Demons are real, y'all. Demons are, I gotta tell you, what about that last relationship you was in? There was nothing but pure hell now, wasn't it? Had you shook because that person had a demonic spirit in them. And what happened? The people that had access was looking at you like, nah, it's all in your head. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Was that bruise in your head? Was that soreness down there in your head? Was that cheating in your head? No, it wasn't. So I know I'm talking to someone. So that's what the devil wants. The devil don't want you to become that person you destined to be. So as long as you do not claim your truth by loving yourself, when's the last time you told yourself you love you? You can't even look in the mirror and say I love you to yourself. So imagine, does it surprise you that your relationships do the same thing back? Your most prized commodity, other than your spirit, is your head, is your heart. Not the size of your backside. Not what you can do behind closed doors so that he stays around. Oh, I got this little trick right here. I ain't never did this before. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? And I can say that, y'all, because you're looking at a man. I was nothing but a womanizer in my 20s. I was. Man, if you walked on my side, if you walked with me, you had to have something going for yourself. But I was never shallow. I didn't care what you looked like. I was never caught up on, oh, she dark skinned, I can't mess with her. Oh, she light skinned and she gotta have hazel eyes. That's the nah. What I wanted, what I truly wanted was to feel emotionally safe. I wanted, and Queens, peep this. Most men, I don't care if they scum of the earth, deep down inside, if he's walking on this planet, he wants a relationship that he feels emotionally safe, just like he did his mother. And usually, that's the person he gonna end up marrying. So if you're dealing with somebody that's like a flotation device in the water, every time he out there, he acting up, you cut him loose. But 6 months later, he coming back, and then you come find out he's sleeping with her, but he's sleeping with you, or you sleeping with him, but you got 5 other dudes that you got on your starting 5. Come on, man. Nobody wins in that but HIV. How about HPV? You ain't got no traits on that. You can walk around just as healthy, like nothing is going on. And guess what? Each day, that's one more day that your life is going to come to an end. You want to feel renewed? You want to feel like your life feels like a breath of fresh air? You want to know what freedom feels like? Do you really want to know? That's the moment that you stop running, the moment that you stop lying, the moment that you take accountability for your life. Because I'm going to tell you what, as long as you keep embracing that, everybody that's connected to you, birds of a feather flock together. That's what that really means. So, my kings, if you have a significant other and she's got that girlfriend that's out the park, out the box, and she turns around and tells you, well, you know, she's crazy like that. No, no, she's not. She has the same traits as your lady. You seen a snapshot of who you're walking with. You seen a snapshot of who is in your bed. You can't set your watch to what he doing. Why? Because he don't respect you. That's why he's treating you like a garbage can. He's just throwing stuff in there. He's looking to drop a deposit. But that deposit ain't love. And anytime that you stick up for yourself, oh, upside your head. But see, those, I don't like. hmm. The funny thing about cats to get down like that and women, you got a lot of abusive women out there. These people already know that you don't have a support system in your life. hmm They know that. They realize they look at the relationship that you have with your family. They look at the relationship you have with your friends and who your friends are, and they are covert like, oh, you got issues with money. Okay, well, I'll make sure that's on display. I'll start making things seem as I'm the breath of fresh air, only to set your life back. I know I'm talking to somebody. Then I had a guy tell me, well, that's why I treat women the way I do. I said, you know what? You're going out like a coward. He got mad at me. I said, I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're not taking accountability of who you allow in your life. Person can't do that. Is well, she got me for $70,000. Did she stick a gun to your head? No. So what's the problem? You co-signed somewhere in that. That's why we're living in the era of identity theft. That's why we're living in the era of fraudulence. That's why we're seeing people put stuff in people, others, they're doing that because they know they can get away with it. But I'm going to tell you this, though, because God loves you so much. He does. Don't believe the hype. The devil's a liar. Those people that make a conscious decision to deceive, you know what's going to happen, right? You reap what you sow. And eventually, everything you've done is going to play back right back out on your life. That's how it is. Yes, you can be forgiven when you take accountability for your life. You ask forgiveness for your life. How about you forgive yourself? You can sitting over here on a bump of love thinking that nobody will love you. I'm going to tell you what, the guy or the woman that God has for you all along will be a spiritual person, and they will show you what love is. They'll also show you what intimacy is too. You don't even, so if you don't have that in your life, let me tell you what, do yourself a favor. Stop embracing those stolen moments. Yeah, those trysts, those one night stands, because see, you're taking moments of ecstasy, moments of bliss, moments of euphoric, orgasmic release that is blessed. You're depriving yourself of what you need, not what you want. That's my position, my queens. You ain't supposed to be out here acting like a man. That's why they have reality TV shows. Bad Girls Club, keyword girl, root word bad. But you love bad boys, keyword boy, connection bad. Nah, all they do is teach you they just show you what you want, but they don't give you what you need. But I know there's somebody saying, well, Gerald, you say that, but I got these kids. That's all I seem to attract. You know why you attract those people? Because those traits live in you still. Because you ain't taking accountability for your life. Ain't no man no man can get you to open your legs. I'm just being frank. No man can do that. I don't care what he possesses. You have to do that. It's your temple. It's your body. No woman can make you unzip your stuff and pull your stuff out and insert it in her. That's a choice. Remember what I said in the beginning? The two greatest gifts God ever gave, but is much abused, is the ability to love yourself. Because if you love yourself, why would you put yourself in harm's way? Who does that? I'll tell you who does that. A person that does not know what love is. And that's why we live in the world that we do now. Because you may have been reared. Your parents may not have loved you. All they showed was abuse. They showed nothing but loss. They showed nothing but anger. You know why they showed you that? Because 9 times out of 10, the other parent did not conform to what they envisioned. And they didn't take accountability for it. So therefore, they took it out on you. God forbid if you look like them. I know I'm talking to somebody. You say, I wonder why my dad treated me the way I did. Because the truth of the matter, hold on. The devil is a liar. Don't even know the number. The truth of the matter is, devil's a liar, because I know this is reaching somebody. You see this play out all the time. It's always covert. You wonder why your dad treats you a certain way and like your siblings? It's because your mother did something or did not do something and they didn't come to terms with it. You're a grown adult and they still beefing. Why is that? First of all, that should tell you something right there. That anger is nothing but perverted love. Because guess what? If you didn't matter, you wouldn't have emotions. Your emotions will. If you didn't care about that person, you wouldn't care if they lived and breathed. But if you're showing emotional, you understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna get mad at you if they don't give a damn about you. They not. But that's what the devil wants you to see. He wants you to see. He wants you to see anger. He wants you to see the negativity. He wants you to be confused. He don't want you to grow because he already knows the person that you're going to be is a godsend. And all your dreams, if you claim your life back, get your life back. You can't pay for a new life. You have to construct it from the inside out. And I'm gonna tell you, here's another thing, y'all. I didn't say nothing about it, but I'm gonna speak on it. Here's a telltale sign you know that you're at peace. Your hair grows. Did you hear me? Your hair grows. Your body heals. The fountain of youth is inside your spirit. So that means you got to take care of your temple. I stepped out on faith last week for the first time out of 35 years, y'all. 35. And I went and started eating beets. I told somebody, some of the subscribers through responses, when I was a kid, if you put a beat in front of me, I would run out the room. If you tried to make me, I would rather jump out of a plate glass window before you put that anywhere near me. Didn't know why. So I stayed away from it. That one vegetable, y'all, that one vegetable has all your vitamins in it. Every one of them, including iron, including potassium, including uh, magnesium. Everything is found in that root, found in the stems. That's what God said. Everything that you needed is in the ground. Because guess what? Didn't he say he took clay to make Adam? It's blessed. So tell me why you sitting over there crying over them. Tell me why you frozen and won't get your finances right. Tell me why you are allowing another lie to be to be to be digested. What? Come on, stop. I say this, y'all, because I love each and every one of y'all. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Yeah, I feel your spirit, and you're gonna be all right. You sitting over there saying, "I need to work out. I'm tired of the way I look in the mirror." Well, baby girl, take that first step. Take that first step. Start looking at what. Start looking at that diet. What is it that you're eating that is not good for you? Go back to you learned it in kindergarten. The five basic food groups. Honor that. How about, are you drinking your water? You drinking your water? Your body needs your water, huh? How about those vitamins? What about that? But here's a big one. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? I'm not saying, well, I'll be on social media until 3 in the morning, even though I gotta go to work at 8:30. Come on. Your mind's gotta rest. If your mind's not at peace, your body's not at peace. Come on. I'm just saying this out of love because you guys deserve it, man. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe it. And that's another reason why I grew my hair. To I did it for the women, my queens. You sitting over there saying my hair won't grow. Yes, it can. I proved it. And I'm gonna tell you this again. And I've said this. I really understand what India Ari meant when she put out that song, I'm Not My Hair. But I see the caveat in that because anything that's an extension, that's why they call weave extensions, because it's connected to you. But if you would decide to love yourself, your hair is beautiful, is what you think it is in your mind is what it looks like. It has to, you have to honor the process. So tell me why you won't love yourself. Tell me why you feel that you gotta sleep around the people that don't love you. God said it best, the body's a temple. And every time that you don't honor yourself, that's like somebody taking a hammer to that one brick. Eventually, it's going to fall. We know that is a nervous breakdown. We also know that is a spiritual storm. I know some of y'all are having issues with your dreams, ain't you? Mm-hmm. My, my spirit told me to point that out. Somebody needs to hear that. You having some lucid dreams right now, and it's freaking you out. I'm gonna tell you why you having those dreams. You're messing with the occult. Okay, put your heart back in your heart. Uh-huh. Let me tell you something. I know it's fascinating to follow the horoscopes, the tarot, tea leaves, and I know it's fascinating. I know it is. And they've even convinced man to say, well, you know, there's such thing as good witches and stuff like that, right? Let me tell you something. The devil was God's number one angel. Everybody knows that. He was the most beautiful creation God had made. So you can go ahead and throw out the image of the red skin, the goatee, the horns, with the tail and the pitchfork. He was beautiful. He was beautiful. And he had all the gifts and wonders that God gave an angel. He was the number one guy, number one creation. But just like mankind, he wanted to claim himself as God, as sovereign. And in turn, God warned him. He gave him mercy and said, just rebuke it. So I watered it down. He told him, say, hey, look here, slow your roll. I run this and respect your position. I need you. He was the right-hand man. But people, other angels that were looking at him was all up in his ear, saying, you ain't got to listen to him. What you saying is correct. Now, mind you, God sees all, knows all, is all. And he allowed the seed of hatred, the seeds of ego, the seeds of denial, the seeds of pride to consume and pervert his mind, his being. God got to a point and said, I can't do anything about this. Because mind you, he gave the same gifts he gave to us to him. The ability to love yourself and free will. So the first form of betrayal, as we would know it as mankind, was when the devil stepped out. And he said, okay, you sure? Like a game show. This your final offer? This your final answer? For real? Okay. Let's open the door. Like, like the game shows. And he was cast out. Like, you fired. And oh yeah, by the way, because since you think I don't know, I know that what you were saying and what you were doing with them. So you can take them with you, right? And they came to earth. They came here. Since you don't want to do what I want, I need you to do. Govern the earth. That's your reward. And he cast them into a lake of fire. The angels saw this and like, man, I ain't trying to go out like this. Nah, man. You made a decision to follow him. So guess what? Pack your bags, take them broken wings you got, peace, and he cast them out of heaven. So guess what? They came with wonders and signs and knowledge. Where do you think that knowledge went? It went to man. Come on, y'all. Think about it. Look at the technology that we have. How many times you just scratched your head and said, well, how is that so? That was knowledge. If this never occurred, we wouldn't have to worry about the tribulation. We wouldn't be so terrified. We wouldn't be so terrified about the book of Revelation if it didn't happen. That's why you feel a certain way when you read that book. Because once again, all things must come full circle. It has to. So stop worrying about what's in your wallet and take accountability of what's found inside your heart. Because your heart is an extension of your spirit. You're not going to find it outside your door going to look for it, but pain. That's why God always says, you have not because you have not asked. That means you got to come pure. That means come as you are. Be yourself. Let your heart talk. If you spend it 1 second, like a bump on a log, mad at the world, always worried about what's going on in somebody else's yard instead of cutting your own, you're robbing yourself. And God has a storeroom with all your blessings on it, every one of them. So what would make you think you wouldn't have to work? What makes you think that because you on this planet, that's all that matters? That's all you. I just showed up. I'm here. So does it surprise you that you've seen people do that to you? I know I'm talking to you. Don't know it from a can of paint, but they're doing this. Like it's an entitlement because you breathing? No. Now I done ran my mouth long enough, y'all. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for just hearing what I had to say because it comes from spirit. Nothing's wrote down, never is. I believe God wanted me to reach somebody today. I believe that somebody's about to make a pivotal decision. I keep going back to this right now. I got this feeling somebody got invited to go away or something for the weekend. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go because what you think you signing up for is not what it's going to be. My discernment is saying you think it was hard enough to get out of that last quicksand. Something about quicksand. If you turn around and go on that trip, you're going to trip. So there may be somebody that you may have fallen out for and you have valid reasons, or there was something that was revealed to you and you trying to make a decision about it. All I can say is it's your life. Wage if it's worth it. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I got this. I got this urge to say they're gonna do you like you know they've done you before. Wherever you are, y'all, have a blessed and safe weekend. If you are afraid to have a conversation with God, just know He's been there the whole time. You already know that because He got you out of something that you felt like, man, if I did that, like it wasn't like, okay, option A, option B, and you were gonna take B, but you realized option A and B wasn't even the option at all. And I got this feeling it has to do with disrespect. Like somebody, wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what I'm. Lord, you make a way when there is no way. And I honor and I obey you, for I am a spiritual being and I'm a vessel. And your will is my way. And I hope that whoever finds this video in the intended time and moment will place you first because they are about to be made new because they're going to love themselves. They're going to love themselves. God's praying for you. You know I am. See? See? This song has something to do with somebody. It's Tower of Power, so very hard to go. That's somebody's validation. God's praying for you. I got chills. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me to discern mine. Always put him first, y'all. You can't go wrong. Have a blessed and safe weekend.